much for being here. I'm excited today, and do you want to know why? Had a doctor's appointment this morning. Nothing big or anything. So I was off today, and that means we're going to throw it down on cooking. I want me a good meal with some of my veggies. So we're going to throw down. So I'm going to be making some beef tips, gravy, and rice. And then we are going to traditionally fry some squashes. I got some corn on the cob and hold on. Okay. I should have had all this out. Okay, so I bought some corn on the cob at the supermarket. Yes, it's not fresh, but it's as fresh as I got. And then we went to the farmer's market this weekend. I just found out we got a little farmer's market in the next town over, next city over. And so we went out there Saturday morning, and there was a mushroom farmer there, and he was selling blue oyster mushrooms. So I got two little things of them, and so we're gonna be having these in with our beef tips. I love mushrooms. Ain't no lie, I've never had a blue oyster mushroom. I've always wanted to delve out into the different kind of mushrooms, but so we are. So I got blue oyster mushrooms, fresh. I'm so excited. And then we're gonna have some corn, fried squashes, and some green beans that's in my freezer that we need to get out. And so we are, I said I wasn't going to go to the grocery store. I know, we were going to do this freezer challenge thing. But I really wanted some corn, and I had to go to the grocery store and buy some milk and stuff, which I'm allowed to do. And then I saw these and I just got these. So everything else is going to be from the house. So I'm going to go ahead and get my rice started, get it out of the way. I'm doing it in my Instapot. It's the easiest way to do. And what I'm doing is two cups of rice. This is just white long grain rice. 2 cups of water. And a good healthy pinch of salt. Then we're going to put it, we're going to turn it on. And let me get my glasses because y'all know I can't see. I'm going to hit the rice button, and it takes 12 minutes. So, got that going. Put this over to the side. I am going to be using my Instapot to also do my beef tips and rice in too. So it's going to be easy breezy. So I'll be back when I get everything ready and we can get to cooking. Okay, so while the rice is cooking, I'm going to get my beef ready. And what I've done is beef that I had in the freezer. I have got a chuck roast, and I've also got 2 sirloins that I have taken out of the freezer. They're not quite defrosted yet, but I thought I'd do a big one so we can eat on it for a couple of days. Make a big dinner so that we can eat on it for several days. So I'm going to cut this bone out, and you know what I'm going to do with the bone. I'm going to save it for some beef stock. It goes way back. nice meaty bone. I will put that in the freezer. Even though I'm supposed to be cleaning out freezers, I'm going to put that in the freezer for future beef stock. Got another bone over here I'll be saving. So I'm just going to cube this meat up, take off a lot of the fat. This isn't the sharpest knife in the shed. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm just going to be cubing it up. I'm going to get me a sharper knife. And then we will be back. Well, not we, but I will be back. And we shall continue on our big cooking adventure. Woohoo! Okay, I got the squash cubed up. Set it aside. And now I'm going to cut up some onions. I want some onions to go in with my squash. I thought this one looked bad. Well, it's not all bad. Got some black on that end. Yeah, it's just that end. I can salvage this. So I'm going to cut up some onions for the squash. And then I'm going to also cut up some for my beef tips. I just about put onion and a lot of stuff. And just FYI, I'm really not going to have recipes linked in the description box. And that is simply because I'm just cooking. I'm just cooking how I know to cook. I'm not following a recipe. I'm just cooking. I don't know how to really explain that, but I guess, I mean, you know what I mean. I don't have recipes out. I'm just doing what I've done for years, and I know what I'm doing, and I don't have a recipe. So follow along if you want to make some of these recipes. It's kind of like this is kind of like my no-fail stuff, I guess you could say. I'm not, kind of hard to go wrong with these. Because if I'm just cooking, it's an easy recipe. So, I've cubed up onions. Put those over to the side. I got out 2 more, but I don't think I'm going to need those. Because I thought that one was bad. Okay. So we have our onions. Alright, I'm going to wash up the corn and we're going to cut it off the cob. Y'all, I am so hungry. I could eat the butt out of a cow. All I've had is a banana today. Okay, washed up the corns, silked them as best I could. I used to struggle with the silking. I felt like I needed to get I'm talking about, I've gotten tweezers before and picked it out in between and stuff. But as I've gotten older, I really don't care. If there's some silks left in there, so what? It's fine. So, what I'm going to do is some of these do have some bad spots. I don't know, like that one, if you can see, it's kind of darker. I'm going to go ahead and cut those off. Just into my garbage. And then I've got the handy dandy Pampered Chef corn scobber, whatever you want to call it, to get the, and I love it. You just put it on here and it just glides. I'll bring you down. I just do it in a bow and it just cuts them effortlessly. And I love it. And then it's got a flat end scraper where you can get the juices out. But I love this thing. You can put as much pressure to get like a whole kernel or a half kernel if you're going to cream it. Whatever you want. This is a white sweet corn. My husband and my father-in-law are big field corn, which is not a sweet corn. It's a white corn, but it's not sweet. And I like field corn. Then I'm going to take the other side, and I just go down to get all the juices out of those empty kernels. I like it. I like a sweet corn, but I prefer something like in between. And I have found peaches and cream corn. They have yellow kernels and white kernels. It's not as sweet as a traditional sweet corn, but it's not non-sweet. It's kind of in between. It's more on the sweeter side, but it's just not as sweet as a sweet corn, if that makes any sense. But I love peaches and cream, and we have some local farmers around here that I can get that from in the summertime. My husband, my father-in-law, has got a cornfield over there across the street that he planted of all field corn, and he's got a bunch of stalks, and I'm telling you what, if they make, we're going to have some field corn to put up. And speaking of abundance of squash and zucchini and stuff, he planted a bunch of yellow cookneck squash. I mean, like 2 30-foot rows of them. They haven't, he planted them late. They haven't been making yet. Oh my goodness, guys. That is the UPS driver going up the street. Hey, Cash, no, buddy. Anyway, when those make, we're all going to be drowned in more squash. So I got to come up with some more creative recipes and preserving. Oh, UPS is pulling down here, so my dog's about to go ape crap. Hang on. Okay, it's cut off. Got all the corn done. All right. Now then, I'm going to open up the rice. Let's get a facial. Just clean. And spatula. I'm just going to take it out. It's hot. Wrap it up in the pot. And then we'll just put it in this bowl. I'm going to run some water in that Instapot bowl because we're going to use it. So while this rice is steaming hot, I am going to go ahead and add some butter. About 2 tablespoons. And we'll let that, and I'll mix it up into the hot rice so it can be melting. Just covering it up. Just covering it up so it'll melt that butter. And we're going to put this to the side. We're almost ready to start cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me wash that bowl up and clean up my little mess I got going on here. And I'll be back. Alright, let's do it. Okay, I washed my Instapot, the innards, and I put it on saute, and I'm just going to let that kind of dry up some of the water. My nose is itching. So, I got my beef. I am going to add some garlic powder. That smells good. Some pepper, good amount. and salt. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I don't know why I told you that, because I didn't tell you what the others were, because I don't know. You season to your heart is content with what you got on there. Okay, we're just going to mix this up. Alright, I've got some avocado oil that I'm going to put to the bottom. Still got a little water left in there. Let's get that out. Okay. Just going to put a little bit of oil in there. We're going to let it heat up. Ooh, water. Clean that mess up. Let that heat up a little bit. And then we're going to put this meat in there and we're just going to let it cook. Okay. I'm not putting it all in because I don't want to crowd the pan because I want it brown. That's about how much I got in there. So I'm going to let that brown. I'm not really looking for it to be done. I just want a good browning on it because we are going to do some pressure cooking in the Instapot with the beef and the other stuff. So I just want to get a good browning on it. That's why I'm not crowding the pan. And I'll be back when all that's done. Okay, I hope the steam isn't too bad coming off of those beans. But over here, in another skillet, I put lid. I could put over that just to. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter going, melting down, and this is what I'm going to put my corn in. Got my corn. Just going to put it in there. I'm doing, I don't know what you call Kathy's corn. No, I guess it's a fried corn. And to this, we're going to do salt, pepper, give that a stir, and we're just going to let this sit here and cook up. If it gets too dry, I may add a little bit more butter. But we do add some more things that we'll add to this, and it's a secret. No, of course you're going to see it. I'm going to turn this down to a medium low. I'm going to take the lid back off of my beans so they can cook, and we'll go back over. We're rocking and rolling. Take this batch out. You can see it's browned up. We got some good little bits down in the bottom too that's going to be delicious. I'm getting popped with grease. I need to put an apron on so I don't get grease stains on me. Okay, and I'm going to put the rest of the beef in there. And we're going to let that get browned up. Alright, those are browned up. And like I said, I wasn't looking to cook these all the way through because it's a tough cut of meat anyway, so we're really going to need to do some, I'm going to do some pressure in here. Okay, so we're going to put these onions that I had chopped up. With some salt. And let those kind of sweat down. Okay, I've been browning the onions. And see all that stuff that's stuck on the bottom? That's paste. So what we're going to do is we're going to deglaze this with some beef broth. Excuse me. I put about a cup in here. We'll be scraping off those little bits. Scraping up those little bits. Okay. Now we're going to add back, come up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add back the beef. Ooh. Alright, a little mixy poo. What is that? Oh, a piece of onion. Okay, now we're going to pressure this. the lid on. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can just cook this in the oven or on top of the stove for a long time. For a pretty long time. Okay, let me get my spectacles on. And we are going to manual pressure for 35 minutes. So this is we're going to sit it and we're just going to let it do its thing. Okay, so our green beans, all the liquid has been either cooked out, evaporated, cooked in, but see the pan is now dry except for remnants of that olive oil that I put in here. Sorry, I keep moving the camera over here so I can see the pan. So this is going off the heat and we're just going to let them just hang out. The corn is cooked and I just got it off the heat to hang out until we do something else with it. Add a couple more things to it. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to do to jazz up the corn. It's been cooked. It's a very sweet corn. And to cut the sweetness, I will add some heavy whipping cream. Just enough to really give it a good coating. And then I grated some Parmesan cheese. Good handful. So this, I mean, if you're a fan, if you like really sweet corn, you don't have to do this step. But like I said, Chris don't really like sweet corn. I don't like it the sweetest in the world, but adding, I'll add a little bit more. Adding the whipping cream and the cheese kind of cuts that sweetness and brings it a little bit more savory. So I did that. I'm just going to put this back on the stove because we're not ready to eat yet. I still got more cooking to do. But when we get ready to eat, I'll just turn the eye on about medium and give this a good warming through, and the cheese will melt, and mwah, it'll be delicious. Okay, are y'all still with me? You with me? We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. We're going to start on the squash and get it battered up and ready to fry. Very, 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 very easy. Taking some buttermilk. And you just want enough to coat it. Let me get I don't know what has happened to my long, thin wooden spatula that I use a lot of. But we're going to get this coated up. Just like so. We are going to add, let me just get a hand. I'm going to do a pretty good hand pinch. Salt. Just our normal stuff, guys. Pepper. And flour. Ooh. And I'm just doing this in my bowl. I'm going to try not to have to get my hands all floury and get it down in there to mix it, but I think that will be all right. Except for pieces flying out. going to add a little bit of cornmeal to it too. And that comes from some people fry their okra, fry their squash, and all cornmeal. Some people fry it in all flour. I like majority of flour and then just add a little bit of cornmeal. I've done it just flour. I've done it with flour and cornmeal. I've never done it with just cornmeal. I don't know why. I guess because my peoples didn't do that. I may need it a little bit more. And I've got the onions mixed in here too. Alright, so we're going to go over to the stove. I'm going to heat up my oil. And we're going to get to frying. I'm feeling like Paula Deen over here. More butter. So I've got avocado oil in here, and just to cover the bottom, just a smidge, and then I put about 3 tablespoons of butter. We're going to let that heat up. My hands are a mess, but I'm going to go ahead and stick my hands in the squash. Make sure it's all covered. I add a little bit more flour to the top. And we are going to make sure it's all covered. Oh, it's getting under my nails and everything. I can't stand that. Okay, so when that heats up, we'll start throwing this in there and get it fried up. Let's do this. I had to go wash my hands and I'm about to get them dirty again, but that's okay. Some of these on the bottom didn't get covered. I'm using a Mac Daddy pan. It's a big old pan. So I'm hoping that I can just do it in one batch. I think I'll be able to. Bloop. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, we're gonna let this brown up. Okay, we're kind of at a standstill right now. I've got the beans and corns are ready. They're just gonna need to be heated back up. The okra's on there frying. The meat's in the Instapots, cooking up. The rice is done. So I'm just kind of in a standstill, and I was cleaning up some. Now y'all are too high. Cleaning up a little bit, wiping off the counters. Loading the dishwasher. My husband, y'all, he's a nut. Y'all pray for me. Whew. I wish that I'd had the camera going when he was doing this, but he got back a few minutes ago. He had gone to the chiropractor, and if you don't know, he's got back problems. He's had back problems for years, and really been bothering him lately. He goes to a chiropractor, and about a month ago he went, and he's in so much pain, and the chiropractor says, I don't want to do anything to you. You need to go and see your medical doctor. He says, I think that you've got tendonitis in the back. So he goes to his regular doctor, and they give him like some steroid shots, a shot in his back, and still hadn't helped it. And it was like, you know, you're eventually going to have back surgery. And Chris won't fathom that because he just thinks that he just can't be off anytime like that. He has to go. He helps his dad a lot around the farms, and then his business is logging, and it's a lot of heavy lifting. It's heavy machinery to run and mechanicing work on equipment and trucks and da-da-da, and he just thinks the world will just fall apart if he has surgery. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So he went back to the chiropractor today just to see if he could give him a little adjustment, and he got back. I said, well, what did he say? Let me back up. He's got to where he don't like to shave. It drives me crazy. And he's always had like a mustache and a goatee. That's how I made him. That's how I like him. I mean, not that I don't like him any other way, but you know what I'm saying? That's the look that I'm used to from him. And so he's got to where he just got this scraggly beard going on. And I'm just like, oh, I wish you would shave. But, so the other day, I got to check on the squash. Hang on, had to give it a turn. So, the other day, he come back there and took a shower, and he came back. He says, well, I shaved. And he just shaved from here down. Like, he shaved his neck and left just a line going across his jaw right here, and this was all beard still. And I was like, that looks goofy. He said, well, you told me you wanted me to shave. And I was like, Chris, blah, blah, blah. I said, I wish you would just shave, especially before we go on vacation, just shave. And so anyway, I'm sitting here wiping this counter 100 times while I'm talking for no apparent reason. So anyway, fast forward. He comes home and I was like, well, what did the chiropractor say? Well, I'm going to tell you, that girl that runs the front desk, she said that my beard was so hot. And I'm like, mm-hmm. She said, if you weren't old enough to be my daddy, I'd go out with you just because of that beard. I'm like, uh-huh, okay. I said, well, what did the chiropractor, I know you're just funning, what did the chiropractor say? Well, the chiropractor even said he'd date me because of my beard. And it's a man. But anyway, I was like, okay, Kiki, what did the chiropractor say? Well, he told me a lot of my back problems caused from stress, and that you need to lay off of me some. I said, Chris, because he did. That's what he told me. He told me, tell your wife that she's putting too much stress on you, that you need to lay off. Okay, what did the chiropractor really say? Well, he told me that because of my back problems, I'm probably not very long, it's probably not going to be very long, I won't be able to perform my husbandly duties. Chris, come on, what did he really say? So he said that you probably need to take advantage of it all you can before that happens. That's what I'm married to. You can't ever get a serious conversation out of him. But anyway, finally he told me, you know, he gave me a little adjustment and told me the same thing, that I really need to go and get an epidural put in my back. That would help the pain, and just know on down the road you're going to probably have to face back surgery. So anyway, just a little thought. I wish I had been recording that so you could have heard all that. And that's basically what he said. It was funny. Okay, so we're going to finish up the squash. I'm going to wipe this counter about 20 more times for no reason. I'm just doing it because I'm rambling. And then we'll be back and we're going to finish up the beef because we still got to add the mushrooms to it. I didn't put the mushrooms in for it to pressure cook because I didn't want them just to, like, you know, shrivel up to nothing. I do like a meaty mushroom, so I'll be back. Okay, the Instapot is done. Bring it down. Bring it down, 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 down. Looking for the meat to be, oh yeah, tender. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back on saute, and I chopped up all these mushrooms, and I'm adding them all. If you don't like mushrooms, don't add mushrooms, or if you don't like this many, don't add this many. But we're going to get these cooked down in that gravy. And I think I'm going to need more gravy than what's in here. There is some, but not really enough. So, what I'm going to do, get a little pot, put some hot water. And I'm going to mix up some gravy mix. That looks delicious. So I've got this, the McCormick's brown gravy mix. You can get it in the envelopes. I just happen to have it where I bought a big thing of it. And it lasts forever. Forever. Well. I'm going to mix in some of this brown gravy mix and put it on the stove and heat it up and pour it in. Sorry. This is probably almost 2 cups of water, and I put in maybe a 1/4 of a cup of the gravy mix. I'm just going to get it on the stove and let it boil. And then these mushrooms are already shrinking down. Smells good. And the squash is about done, so we'll go over there and get it out. Okay, I heated the gravy up. Add this just to have more gravy for our rice. I'm just gonna. I still got some left. I may use it. I'll just have to see. And I just got this on saute, cooking those mushrooms. I took the squash out of the pan. I didn't take out over there for it, but it got nice and brown. Not as brown as Chris likes, if y'all remember, but he'll eat it. Okay, I'm gonna get a spoon and taste test this. And make sure it's got enough seasonings. It's gonna be hot. Hot, hot, hot. Right on time. I don't think I need to add anything. Perfection. Perfection. Okay, so me loading the dishwasher as we go. We're almost ready. I'm gonna go over here. Come on. Okay, so the corn's been sitting here. It's cooled off. Remember, I cooked it in butter, and so the butter, you know, kind of is cold. The butter kind of solidifies. So I'm gonna turn the eye on, on a medium low, and get this heated back up. See how juicy it gets when that butter melts all again. Over here, got my green beans. They're cooled off too, so I'm going to turn the eye on that. And my stovetop is nasty from cooking. And then I'm going to heat up the green beans. And if it's not really loose enough, I'm just going to add some just plain milk. So we'll let that go. As it's heating up, it's getting a lot looser. I don't know if y'all can tell that. I may add just a splash to loosen it up a little bit more. Down to low. So here's a daily tip for you. Oh, hang on. I thought I'd turn the green beans off, but I turned them up on high. Get my facial. Green beans are so much better warmed up, like the next day. They just taste so much better to me the next day heated up. I don't know what it is, but so I like to cook my green beans, whether it's some of my canned green beans or my frozen green beans or fresh green beans. I like to cook them early on, cook them all the way done, take them off the heat, let them cool completely down, and then reheat them. It's something about it intensifies the flavor. I don't know what it is, but y'all try it and see what you think. Go ahead that morning, cook your green beans. Put them off on the side, put a lid on them, and then when you're ready to eat supper, heat them back up. They just taste so much better. I don't know what it is. I went ahead and add the rest of the gravy in here because it is evaporating some. It's going to be boiling like this. And we're going to we're going to call this done. And I'm going to fix me a plate. Y'all just hang on. Now my rice has been sitting here and it's cold. And remember, I tucked the butter in it. And so I'm giving it a stir. And you can see, if you can see, the butter is not incorporated. So I'm giving it a stir. The rice is cold, but have no fear because we're about to put some hot gravy on it and it's going to heat them right back up. I'm getting all of that butter incorporated and loosening it up, fluffing it up. Alright, I'll be back when my plate is fixed. Okay. My belly is happy. Okay, so I'm gonna taste it for y'all because. Alright, first up, the green beans. Perfect. I'm just telling y'all guys, if you heat them back up after you cooked them, it intensifies the flavor. Delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
See if you're going to stop this commode. I help.
Hang on, please. If you heard that, I apologize. So, corn. So good. So good. So good. That's so good. All right, fried squash. I need salt. It tastes good, but I didn't season it enough. So I'm gonna sprinkle some salt on that. I'm honest with you. I mean, it tastes good, but it just didn't have enough salt on it. So, I've added extra squash. Let's go for that. Yeah, it needed salt. Okay, now for the beef and rice. I want to get one. Oh, I got me a mushroom. Let me get a piece of beef. I hope my mushroom fell off. And then some rice. Okay. Cheers. Bliss. Blissful heaven. That is delicious. I like those mushrooms. Cooking that meat in the Instapot just tenderized it. So good, because those were not tender cuts of meat. But it's so good. The gravy's good. I like the mushrooms. I really do. Okay, so let me wash that down. There you have it. We throw down a big meal, which I don't do a lot, especially on the weekdays, but like I said, I was off work today, so I thought we'd throw down. So thanks for being here. Y'all are so great. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all, I hope that you're having a blessed day. I hope that you have a blessed week. And thanks for joining me. And like I said, I'm not really going to have the recipes down in my description box because I just cooked. I just cooked like I know how to cook. I wasn't cooking off a recipe. I just cooked off of my years of knowledge on cooking, I guess. Easy stuff, but just down home Southern cooking. That's what this was. But like I said, y'all have a great week. Thank you for being here with me. You know, if you don't mind, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Share my videos. That would help out a lot. And drop me a comment down below. I love reading comments and replying to you guys. So, I will see you later.